Hello, friends. Welcome to Doomed to Fail. My name is Taylor, and along with my friend Fars, we bring you historical stories, dramas, disasters, failures, and some true crime and murders. We definitely started out more true crimey than we ended up, but we still do a little bit of it. So, to give you a rundown of our murder episodes, this is part two. Last week, I talked about the beginnings of our murder episodes, and now I have a handful from the middle. So, episode 107 is about the Port Arthur massacre, where a dude who is insufferable went on a rampage and shot a bunch of people at a tourist destination, shot his landlords, terrible stuff. And then afterwards, like rational people, Australia banned those kind of weapons and made it more of a thing to get them if you do need them for no reason. I don't even know if you can get like a automatic weapon in Australia anymore. And you know what? Gun deaths went down, if you can imagine. Episode 111 is about John Norman Collins, who was a serial killer in Michigan in the 1970s. I remember one part of this story. A woman was like hitchhiking, because they always do in the 70s, and he like took her to a store, and then she was leaving the store and she's like, oh, I don't get murdered, and she like totally did, which is sad. Episode 120 is about two dudes down in South America, Luis Garavito and Pedro Lopez, and they killed a lot of people in sort of like the jungles of South America. Episode 123 is about the Cecil Hotel. So the Cecil Hotel is in downtown Los Angeles, which is awful. And I say that with confidence. I don't know, fight me. I don't like it. But Forrest and I used to work down there, and so we started working there together. Is where we met in 2013, and we were like a block away from the Cecil Hotel when Elisa Lam's body was found in the water tower. Do you remember that? Like, they found it because people were like, oh, the water I'm using to brush my teeth is turning black. What could it be? And it was a dead body. And there's more too. So that was fun. We laughed a lot. Just because we have memories, not because of the murders. We're sad for Lisa Lam. She wasn't murdered, but it was sad. Episode 129 is sort of a war murder story, also a medieval story. Saint Olga of Kiev. She is a saint despite the fact that she had many people killed in revenge of her husband's death, and she did it in some awesome ways. It's another story that absolutely George R.R. Martin knows about. Episode 139, Murder in the Galapagos, is a story of like these Germans moved to this little island, and they wanted to like have this cute little society, and then this like woman who said she was a duchess or something moved there. Anyway, it's a movie with Jude Law and Anna de Armas. It's relatively new. Let me know if you've seen it. Episode 148 is about Jack the Ripper. It's fun. Victorian England, things are terrible unless you're rich, as you know. And I read a great book about Jack the Ripper's victims, and I am now of the mind that I think that he killed them when they were asleep, which explains some stuff about, where their bodies were and such. And terrible time to be a woman living on the streets for 1,000 reasons, not just that you could get murdered in your sleep. Episode 154, Medieval Executioner. It's not necessarily murder, but people die. Episode 171, John Wilkes Booth. This guy, obviously, but I can't not express to you how famous he was. It's like Tom Cruise. And it just blows my mind. So it's fun. You get to learn about John Wilkes Booth's family. He comes from an acting family. His father was from England, and he was like an actor. Episode 173 is on about Jamal Khashoggi. He is a journalist who was murdered by the Saudi government. There is episode 176 about Elizabeth Bathory, who is another medieval time period person who in a castle killed a lot of like young maidens for their blood, that kind of thing. And she will remind you of episode 183, Delphine Lalaurie, who is a woman who lived in New Orleans and had enslaved a bunch of people and tortured them unbelievably in her attic. Kathy Bates plays her in the American Horror Story version, if you want to like picture her. Two more. Episode 190 is about Germanwings Flight 9525, which is where the pilot was just like gonna kill everybody, and he did crash into a mountain. And then episode 197 is the prequel, I guess, to Amityville Horror, which we love, even though we don't believe the Lutzes at all. Or, of course, we don't believe the Warrens either. But it is about the actual real life murder of the DeFeo family by their oldest son, who claimed that demons spoke to him and made him do it. Maybe he did have some sort of like schizophrenia or something where he heard things, but no excuse to murder your family. And it also is interesting because of the way they were found and all those things. Not ghosts, but sad. Anyway, let me know what you think. I have one more week of murder highlights, but you can always go back and look at our episodes. We have over 200. They are on the internet, wherever you listen to podcasts. They're on YouTube. They're everywhere. Email me, doomedtofailpod@gmail.com. If there's something we're missing. On all socials, doomedtofailpod. We have a Patreon, which will give you ad-free episodes forever if we ever have ads, which, I don't know, that could happen. Cool. Thanks.